Hey everyone. So if you're even thinking about buying a home, you know that the home inspection is, well, it's the moment of truth, right? It's super exciting, but it can also be pretty nerve-wracking. We're going to cut through all the noise today and focus on the one single issue that can take a dream house and turn it into an absolute financial nightmare.
So let's just get right to it. Picture this. You've got that inspection report in your hands. You're flipping through pages of notes, photos, and you see all sorts of things. But among all the little fixes and the cosmetic stuff, what's the one problem that should make you just stop, take a really deep breath, and think very, very carefully about your next move?
And there it is, seriously. Ask any inspector, any real estate pro, and they'll tell you the undisputed heavyweight champion of red flags is a major issue with the foundation. And look, we're not talking about some tiny hairline crack you can barely see. We're talking about the kind of problems that threaten the entire skeleton of the house. But why? Why is this such a massive deal breaker? Well, it's because a bad foundation isn't just one problem. Oh no, it's the thing that starts a whole bunch of other ones. Let's break down exactly what's at stake here. Okay, it really just boils down to two huge things: your safety and your money. First up, safety. The entire house, literally everything, is sitting on top of that foundation. So if the base is bad, the integrity of everything else is at risk. And then there's the money. The financial cost is just staggering. Foundation repairs are known for being incredibly expensive and a massive, unpredictable drain on your bank account. And when I say a financial drain, I really mean it. We're talking about repairs that can easily start at $10,000 and soar past $100,000. I mean, to put that into perspective, that's enough for a down payment on a whole other property. And the worst part, even after you spend all that cash, you might still be left wondering about the house's long-term stability and what it does to your resale value down the road. This brings us to a really important idea called the domino effect. See, a foundation problem is almost never just a foundation problem. Because it's the base for the whole house, when it starts to shift or fail, it kicks off this chain reaction of damage that just spreads up and out through the rest of the home. So here's how that domino effect usually plays out. First, the foundation shifts. That single movement then puts a ton of stress on the home's frame, its skeleton, pulling it all out of whack. Pretty soon you start seeing the evidence, like big, ugly cracks in the walls or gaps opening up where the walls meet the ceiling. And finally, you really start to feel it in your day-to-day life, when doors and windows suddenly start to stick because their frames have literally been twisted out of shape. All right, so now that we know just how serious this is, what are the actual warning signs you can look for yourself even before an inspector shows up? Let's go over the key things to look for that might signal something is seriously wrong. Okay, these are the classics. Floors that are noticeably sloping, the kind where you could put a marble down and it would just roll away on its own. Or floors that just feel kind of spongy or bouncy when you walk on them. Those sticky doors and windows we just talked about, that's a huge clue. Also, you got to keep an eye out for any gaps opening up between the walls and the ceilings. And especially look for large, horizontal cracks in the foundation itself. Oh, and if you see basement walls that are bowing inward, that is a major, major warning sign. Now, look, while foundation issues are absolutely number one, they aren't the only big problems you need to watch out for. There are a few other major red flags that, while maybe not as completely catastrophic, they are definitely worthy of your full attention. So these runners-up include things like serious roof damage. A bad roof isn't just about a couple of drips. It can lead to hidden rot and massive water damage you don't even see. Then you've got outdated electrical systems. These are a huge fire hazard, and trust me, they're incredibly expensive to have completely rewired. And finally, never ever underestimate mold and water damage. It's a serious health issue, and it can be silently weakening the home structure from the inside out. So what's the key difference here? What really separates these issues from a major foundation problem? A lot of the time, it comes down to one word: predictability. You can get a firm quote for a new roof. You can get a clear price to rewire a house. It's a known cost, right? It's something you can negotiate. Foundation issues, well, they can be a total rabbit hole of hidden problems and skyrocketing costs. Okay, let's bring this all together. You've gotten that inspection report back and your heart sinks because it looks serious. What is the one rule, the final rule of thumb you should follow to guide your next decision? This right here is the golden rule. When your home inspector, the expert you hired for their professional opinion, tells you that you need to call a structural engineer, that is the single biggest red flag you can possibly get.
It means the problem is bigger than they can handle and is potentially very, very serious. This is your cue to hit the brakes hard and not move an inch forward without getting that second expert opinion.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? When that report comes back recommending an engineer, is it an automatic deal breaker, or is it just the starting point for a really, really serious negotiation? Well, the answer is going to depend on what that engineer finds, how much it'll cost, and frankly, your own tolerance for taking on a big risk. But knowing that this is the red flag to watch for, that empowers you to make the smartest possible choice for yourself.